All right, y'all. So I was talking with my a relative of mine about control, like the control we have over life, the control we have in life, the control that we have in this world. And I was telling him that I come to the realization. I'm speaking for myself personally. I can't speak for nobody else. I'm speaking for me. I was telling him I come to the realization at the age of the ripe old age of 42 years old, that I'm not in control of a damn thing. Of course, he disagreed from his perspective, and that's fine. I'm not, we're not. This is not a imposition of my views on yours or your views on mine. We're all adults, and we are entitled to believe what we want to believe. So I come to the realization that at my ripe old age of 42 that I'm not in control of nothing. I'm not. I'm not. And that is there's a lot that's packed into that, right? And one thing I want to say that comes out of that is the maturation of the mitigation of your ego. Oh, I like that. That is the maturation. That is coming to the maturity. That is coming to the maturation of the mitigation of your ego. Your ego is that self that makes you believe you have control, right? But spiritual maturation leads to mitigation of the ego. Uh, Mitigation just simply means putting the ego in its place, right? Back seat or passenger seat, not the driver's seat. Uh, and again, coming to that maturation is a process, right? Not everybody gets it at the same time. I'm 42 and I'm just coming to this realization. And let me just give you some examples of what I mean when I say I come to that realization that I personally speaking for myself, I'm not in control of nothing, right? Okay, let me give you an example. For the other side, for those who take the other side of this argument, that you believe that you are in control. First of all, that belief is it's illusory. It's illusory. It's an illusion. It's part of the illusion. Uh, let's say, okay, I'm gonna say, all right, you're in control of whatever, right? Let's say you say, all right, you know what? Let me give you a scenario. You say you want to start a business. You make sure your credit is good. You fix up your credit. It's all good. You're in control. Fantastic. So you get your credit together. You said, you want your business now. You sit down and you plan what kind of business you want to do. You want to go into something with, let's say you want to supply the equipment for fracking, right? Okay. You look around the market, see if there's a market for that. Fracking, by the way, it's a process of bringing oil from the ground. So you live in an area where there's ground that has untapped oil. So you say, okay, I want to start a business that provides the equipment for fracking. I'm not going to frack, but I want to get the equipment for fracking. Okay, so you get your credit score good. You got your business plan together. You go to let's say on the SBA, you get a small business loan. So you get the loan. You get interest rates are low, so you get really good cost to borrow. So it's all good. You got the loan. Now you're starting to get the equipment. You're starting to get the staff. You got the facility. Blah blah blah. Things are looking great. Inventory is good. You've managed your books right. You did everything right. Inventory's right. Everything is good. Your first 3 years, you're not going to make money. That's expected. First 3-4 years, you really don't make money. You're just hoping to break even, right? And you got your customers now. You got your supply and you got the demand. So the demand and the supply is equally met. So things are going in, things are running smoothly, right? All of a sudden, something happens like what's going on right now in the Middle East. Palestine and Israel starting some kind of escalation in violence or whatever, right? So OPEC, right? Or OPEC, who controls oil, said, you know what? We're going to jack the price of oil up, or we're going to cut the price of oil, whatever. OPEC said, we're going to raise the lever. We're going to pull the lever on oil. All of a sudden now, oil prices skyrocket because of the situation that's going on in the Middle East, some kind of crisis. OPEC decides to manipulate the oil price. Prices go through the roof. Now, if you're a Mobil, not a big deal. You're one of the juggernauts. You're an Exxon Mobil. You kind of shake that off. You got slush funds to cover any kind of to absorb any kind of hits. If you're a Shell, same thing. You have a slush fund to absorb whatever hits. If you're any one of the big oil companies out there, you kind of shrug your shoulders at it. You got money to cover any kind of losses. But if you're a small company like yourself, or SBA or something like that, you got an SBA loan, small business loan, and you're just starting up, all of a sudden now your whole business is done. That's it. Your business is done. You now went from setting up to folding up. You're in chapter 11. Here we go. Your inventory's backed up. You gotta cut your employees. Everything that you worked on completely decimated. One shot, just like that. Now you got to go wrap it up and start all over. If you could even have, you have bounce back power, right? You took out a loan in the first place, so chances of you even slim to none. So now you're going from SBA to Chapter 11, bankruptcy, right? That is a real life scenario of what I mean when I say we don't have control. On the macroeconomic scale, none of us have control. None of us, no human being in this world have control. None of us. The illusion, there's a very dense illusion. When I say dense, I mean very tightly packed, knitted, very somewhat solidified illusion in our minds to make us believe we have control. And for all intents and purposes, listen, we need that. The illusion serves its purpose. We have to believe we have some form of control. I mean, think about it, right? If we walked around really facing the truth that we're not in control, could you imagine health insurance companies right now would be making even more of a killing, right? Like there's so many people who are taking anxiety pills, sedatives, and pills just to feel they're in some kind of control of themselves because they're having panic attacks, they're having anxiety attacks. So they take pills just to be in control of themselves. So could you imagine if everybody woke up to the reality that we're not in control of nothing? It would be chaotic. So we need to have a semblance or a semblance of some kind of a modicum of control. We need that. So that's a healthy thing. That's why it's called spiritual maturation. Not everybody gets it at the same time. And if everybody got there, if everybody realized, like I said, not everybody would be ready for that. Not everyone would be ready, or could they handle that reality? So again, having a sense of that you are in control, it's necessary, it's needed for you to function, right? To function just with some sanity, with some sanity. So it's normal to feel you're in control, and you should, as you should. I speak for myself that as I come into spiritual maturation and enlightenment, that I'm not in control of nothing. And I could say that and still function because I know what that means. I understand that. I have a spiritual understanding of that. That does not make me feel awkward. It does not make me feel inferior. Whereas I'm talking to someone else and I tell them, yo, you're not in control of nothing. The first thing that does is it pokes at their ego, at the manhood, at the ego. And the ego is going to rebut. It's going to push back. So I would never tell you to believe what I believe. I'm telling you what I've come to the realization of. And trivial things, I would give you that. We're in control of trivial things. But then again, are you? Right? The trivial things in life, the things that are unimportant, are you? You know, should I have Captain Crunch for breakfast or should I have Frosted Flakes? Should I have cornflakes or should I have Fruit Loops? Right? Should I use Colgate or should I use Crest? These are trivial, mundane, everyday things. All right, I'll give you that. Should I wear a red shirt or a black shirt? Should I wear a suit and a tie or should I go casual? I'll give you all of that. But are you even in control of that? Like, I could take that away from you too. And not everybody's ready for that to be taken away because you need to feel that you're in control. But I could rip that from you too. I remember as a kid growing up, every Saturday morning, it was Thundercats, it was He-Man, it was She-Ra, it was all these cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons. And I would love them. I'd get up early every morning just to watch these cartoons. Do you know that now looking back, I remember there would always be cereal commercials that come on. Now, if I'm a cereal company, if I'm Kellogg's, and you're channel 11, WPIX, I'm going to come to you and say, listen, between 9 and 12 a.m. every Saturday morning, you have millions of gazillions of kids watching your station because you're running cartoons from 9 to 12. I want to buy up all your commercial space. I want to buy up all your ads. That's what I want to do because I'm Kellogg's. I'm going to buy up all the ad space on WPIX between the hours 9 and 12. My competitor Post Cereal, they're going to give you 2 million. I'll give you 4 million. Clearly, you're going to come with me. And I'm going to run commercials on Kellogg's every 30 seconds or every, whatever the time is, doesn't matter. But I'm going to run my Kellogg's cereal commercial between the hours of 9 and 12. I'm going to flood your airwaves with my Kellogg cereal. That's me, Mr. Kellogg. I'm giving you $4 million to run this every day for eons of years. So now every kid watches that like myself, that was watching Saturday morning cartoons, are going to see Frosted Flakes every single morning being programmed into our minds as children. Now as a grown man, I love Kellogg's cornflakes. So when I walk into a store as a grown man, 42 years old, if I'm gonna go buy some cereal right now, you better believe I'm getting the Tiger, Tony the Tiger. I love Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. There's other cereals there. There's Post. There's Nut and Honey. There's Fruit Loops. There's all kind of cereal up there. But why do I go for Kellogg's? Watch this. Conventionally, ordinarily, casually, that's my choice. I chose Kellogg's. I like this cereal. And if anybody asks me why I chose, because I like it. I choose this cereal as opposed to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I like Kellogg's. That's my choice. And that's so trivial and unimportant that nobody's going to debate me on that. But I just proved to you that's not my choice. That was a conditioning. You follow me? That wasn't a choice. That was the result of a conditioning. I was conditioned every Saturday morning between 9 and 12 to eat Kellogg's Frosted Flakes while I was watching He-Man and Thundercats and all the other cartoons. In the interim, in between the commercials of the cartoons, I was constantly being told, hey, they're great. So now as a grown man, I like Frosted Flakes. That's a very simplistic, a very casual, very, just mundane, just normal. That's a simple example of what I mean when I say, do we really have control? Or do you just have an illusion of control? That's the real question. And I personally, so the benefits of freeing yourself from the illusion of that you have control is this. Because like I said, a lot of people wouldn't be ready to accept this. A lot of people would lose their mind. The person I was having this conversation with believe wholeheartedly they have control. And again, you should believe that for your sanity's sake. But I can test your theory. If you're watching this video right now and you believe you have control, we all have habits. Think of one of your habits that's not necessarily a positive one, but you accept it. You tolerate it. You like it. Smoking a cigarette, for instance. Drinking alcohol. Smoking weed, which kill the neurons in your brains. Cigarette, we all know, destroy the lungs. Alcohol work on your kidneys. Liver cancer, all kind of stuff. If you do believe that you are in control, I'm going to test your theory right now and give you a command or a challenge, better yet. Challenge yourself to stop smoking cigarettes completely. Cold turkey, just stop. Challenge yourself to just stop drinking. Put that bottle down. Never touch a Henny bottle again. Challenge yourself to never, ever, ever light up a blunt again. Provided this is your conditioning. This is what you've been doing for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. This is what you've been doing. You've been drinking for 10 years, for 5 years. Challenge yourself to never touch a bottle of liquor again. Test your belief or your delusional belief that you're in control. Because if you're in control of your life, then the simplest thing should be, the first primary thing that you should be able to control is yourself. That's easy. And if you can't do that, then I rest my case. But I'll allow you to believe you're in control because I understand you need that for your sanity, for you to be able to function right. Now here's the other side of that coin. When you realize that you're not and you let go, you got to have something though, right? I'm not going to say let go. Then, okay, Marlon, you tell us to let go. Then what do we hold on to? Because you don't replace one habit without having something to substitute it. That's how the mind works. You got to understand how the mind works. This is where your faith in God comes in. This is where Jesus comes in. This is where God comes in. I'm a man of faith. I believe on Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. I believe in God wholeheartedly. You know, the Bible says if you're ashamed of him, I'm paraphrasing, then he'll be ashamed of you. I'm not ashamed to say, yo, Jesus is my man. Jesus is my dude. right? I believe in God wholeheartedly. When you understand, when you get to this overstanding or understanding within yourself, that when you relinquish this illusion of control, what you hold on to, when you let that go, what you hold on to is the one who really is in control, which is God. Till next time, peace.